What's going on, guys? It's your boy PS239 Riverboy, and I'm back at it again with another video. And today I'm just gonna go over what happened in the market over the weekend. And I didn't post any videos about it Friday or over the weekend because I was out getting a passport with my family, and I don't really post anything or try to work on the weekends. And I wasn't really affected by this pump, and this is why I wanted to tell you guys. Um, you in this game, you pretty much always want to be ready for stuff like this to happen. And in just February, when there was a pump like this, like how we went to 126 in February, we went to 112. I pretty much sold most of my bags, and back at that time, altcoins were at even higher highs. So if we go to days and we look back in February, and let's go to weeks so you can see, like around back in February, most altcoins were at ridiculous highs, and that's when I closed out my bots, guys. And I told mostly you guys that I didn't want to open up bots again until altcoins had hit levels that I find good. So everything is up right now because everything was practically down, So if a bunch of you guys had bots, and if you had set your parameters to good levels like I told you guys should have made a fuck ton of money through this little pump with the bots. And right now, if you are down, all I would say is pull out your grid profits and re-add them into the bot, because anything you buy right now is just really, everything is on discount pretty much. So right now, you pretty much can throw a dart at the board and can make money. You can buy any bot, and me personally, I'm going to try to open up like one of every single altcoin that I can, like $100 in each one, and I'm gonna do that periodically for the next few weeks, because altcoins are going to be down at these levels at least for a few weeks, guys. So any bit of cash I can, I'm going to dump into altcoins. Like I'm going to make a Dogecoin bot, a Solana bot, an Ethereum bot, a Pepe bot, and this is my watch list. So pretty much every coin on here I'm going to make a bot for, except for Nacho. You can't make a bot for that. There's not enough liquidity in that market. So I'm pretty much just going to have a bot for every coin. And I have been just investing into my miners, guys, and I don't really try to pump into the market when we're at very high evaluations. So right now everything has been tanking and tanking and tanking, and then now we're on the up and up. So when you invest, guys, you never want to catch a falling knife. You want to let it drop, and then come back on the rise. So with this big devastation of the drop, I'll tell you guys what happened and why we fell like that in a minute. But with this big devastation of a drop, you kind of want to just run your bots and just add and add and add. And then once we get back to previous highs, you just let them coast, and then you just collect profits pretty much. Close them out when you're up like double, triple, quadruple your money. And then like right now we are at really lows, so right now is a good time to get in. But what had happened last week, guys, pretty much Trump and China are going at it again like a trade war. And Trump imposed 100% tariffs on China, and China basically banned Bitcoin because of it. And once that happened, the biggest Bitcoin whale on exchanges, because there are levels to this shit, there are whales. The banking institutions have a fuck ton of Bitcoin. I think Michael Saylor is up there on the top people who have the most amount of Bitcoin, and like Satoshi himself has like 2 million Bitcoin. But there's a whale who had over 1 million Bitcoin, and on Friday morning he sold all of his Bitcoin. He didn't keep a single Bitcoin. He sold 1 million Bitcoin on exchanges, and he forced the price to go from 124 all the way down to 105 and even lower on some exchanges. And the reason why we dropped that far is because he shorted the market. He sold his Bitcoin and put a short position in, because when he sold his Bitcoin, we had a small dip and then a small pump from the people buying into the dip. But then once you short it, it forces more buying or more selling pressure, and it liquidates people who are going long. And once the people who are going long is liquidated, all of that money gets pulled out of the market. So then it drops really fast, it starts spiking, and then it hits people's stop losses, and then those people sell, and then it keeps spiking, dropping, more stop losses, more stop losses, more stop losses, until it hits a wall of buys bigger than the sales, and then we come back up. So that's pretty much what happened. And one thing that I did hear that is kind of fucked up, and this is why I tell you guys to not keep all of your funds on exchanges you cannot trust, guys. There was an exchange, a leverage exchange, I can't remember the name of it right now, but if I do, I'll post it in the comments. There was a leverage exchange that was going along with their customer base's money, and they got liquidated. So everyone on that exchange lost their money because the exchange lost all of its money when this dip happened. So that's why I tell you guys to be careful and not to have all your money on an exchange. I keep more than 90% of my net worth on a cold wallet. So like I barely have 10% in miners and on other exchanges. So more than 90% of my net worth is in my cold wallet that I don't even touch and I don't even use every single day, guys. So now I might think about deploying some of that money, like pulling out my safe and pulling it out and pulling some of that money out to deploy it on here, because it'd probably be really good for me to jump into a bunch of bots right now, because everything is down, everything is hella down, and this is basically a bargain sale. This is Christmas in July pretty much. But alright guys, I'm gonna hit you guys up in the next one. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah, let's stack this Bitcoin together.